channel. So today we will be doing a text formatting using custom fonts. So let's start. So quickly let's open the Android Studio and see where we stopped, and parallelly let's open the simulators as well. So I'm going to open the simulator. So let's open the Android as well, and along with the iPad let's also open the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Okay, so all good. So what we need to do quickly on this program is we first need to have a custom fonts. So let's download some fonts, any random fonts we like from the internet, or in your case it might be given by the customer to you based on the program. So let's do that. Which program you like to download? Let's say we download from fonts.google.com. That's a very much standard place to download. And what kind of fonts? These are the categories available. Maybe for the ease of you can say view, let's download some handwritten fonts. And which fonts you like? Okay, what about Indie Flower? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also open a text editor so that I'm sure which fonts I am downloading. If you are on a Windows machine, maybe download your notepad. So the first font I'm going to download is Indie Flower. That's the family name. I'm going to copy that, and let's download this font. Done. What else you want to download? Maybe one more, or one is also enough. So in case you want to download dancing script, do that. That also looks amazing. At least the name, I liked it. So another is dancing flower. Copy that as well, and I'm going to download it also. Okay, that's good to go. So I'm going to close the browser, and let's now see which fonts we have downloaded. Go to downloads folder. Okay, these are the two files which have been downloaded in a compressed zip format. I'm going to unzip that. Indie Flower and dancing script. If you open the file, this probably will be the license. Yep, it is, and this is the font. So how do we going to do it? We first need to put these fonts into our Android folder. So it's always better to you can say structure it. So how generally it is done is generally create a folder, and within those folder then put your fonts folder, because I like to keep a separate folder for icons, separate folder for images, separate folder for fonts. So just ensure that in your project file you are not in projects and you are in your project file. So once you are in your project file, so that it gives you the view of the way the files are being placed in your Finder or Windows Explorer. That's the physical format of the files. So I'm going to right click it, and let's create a new directory. So let's give the name assets. Sounds fine to me. And as I told, I would like to have a separate folder for images, icons, and fonts. I'm going to create a subfolder named fonts also within those assets. So all seems fine. So this is our indie regular file. What I'm going to do is drag this file into the fonts folder. So it is asking me whether I should refactor it. Click yes, and that's done. That's your font. I'm going to close that, and let's open the second folder also, the dancing script one. This is the dancing script file name. I'm going to drag it and put it into your fonts folder also. So refactor it, and these are our two files available. Great. Now the files are physically present does not mean that it is available to the program. So we first need to tell our app that please load these assets which I have given to you at the runtime. So how to do that? Every Flutter program should have a file named pubspec. So open that, and within that pubspec file, if you have noticed, if you go right at the bottom, you will see a font family. So I have written something for you in advance. Okay, if you want to see it, this is the example which was there. Your program may have a different example based on your version, but it should be similar. So you need to create a font. So I have not deleted those examples. I've just written it at the bottom, and then a family name, and within the family then you put up a regular fonts files. So the file name is this. So in our case, we have two families. The first family is Indie Flower, and the second family which we downloaded was Dancing Script. So Indie Flower and Dancing Script, and Indie Flower has a font of Indie Flower regular.ttf, which is this one, and the Dancing Script family has a font name which is Dancing Script variable, and this is this one. So as the assets lies physically over here, so your root directory of your app, so over here they just give us this example. So in our case, because we created subdirectory, it will be under assets folder. Within assets folder, we created this assets folder, we created a fonts folder, and within those folder this file exists. All right, so once you write that, what you need to do is do a pubget. So what a pubget will do is all your packages, every changes you made in your app, it is going to load that. So I'm going to run that, and hopefully no errors. Yep, looks good to me. So now these fonts are there in our application folder, and this has been you can say loaded by the app also. Now we just need to use it. So to do that, this was our main.dart. If I can run it on let's say Android phone, I'm going to click run. It is going to do DevTools and going to execute it on the iPhone. Oh sorry, not iPhone but Android phone. So this is my Android phone. I'm just keeping it on the side. So while this is execution is being happening, I'm going to minimize the project window so that I get a more working space. I'm going to add another text. So this is what we have done till last time. So I'm going to create another text, and let's call it as custom font 1, and that's it. And I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to create another one, custom font 2. So if I simply run that, of course, because we have not defined the text font, so it will simply load with the default. So let's do the styling now and give it a font we want to use. So I'm going to do a text style, and let's within those text style, now we need to download a font. So how the font will happen is it will have a font family. So let's give it a font family. So this is your font family, and it is of type string. So we just need to define the font family name. So I'm going to use font family, and what is that string? That string is this Indie Flower or whichever fonts you want to use. So in our case is Indie Flower. Okay, sorry if I pasted twice, and let's run that. So see, the font has changed. Of course, as I told in the last video also, feel free to mix and match. So I'm going to give it a font size of 40, and works great. So let's try it again. Give it a text style. I'm going to copy all of it and paste it over here. So instead of Indie font this time, what I'm going to do is copy the Dancing Script and give it a name, Dancing Script. So this Dancing Script, once you give it a name, it already know the Dancing Script folder is this and file is this, and it's going to upload that. So let's run that, and voila, it's running. So very simple, very easy to do. Now you might have noticed one issue which will come is like, if this is my custom font and this is how I make the program, every time I have to give it a text style, it's very, very cumbersome. So there should be a default way that this is my default font, and if I don't define anything, this is the font it should download. So how to do that is you need to create then a theme, and within that theme then you can define certain parameters, and one of those parameters is your font family. So once you define a theme for your page and define your fonts, then the default fonts will get picked up from that theme file. And so how do we do that? It's a little bit advanced thing. We will cover it in our future topics, but for the time being, just give it a style, and that's a way to tell that how to load that custom fonts into your app and how to run that app at the runtime level. So this is not how it works on your Android, but that's how it will works on all your platforms. So let's try another's. Let's run it on Google. Already running on Chrome and on your iPad Pro. So I'm going to run it on Chrome and iPad Pro as well. So let's see how it executes. This is how it looks. And as I told you, feel free to add more customization the way you like. So if you want to add a color, just give it a color, and the color will be colors dot which color you like. If you want blue, black is the default one. If you want brown, let's choose brown, and that's it. Just recompile. So it is going to recompile it on your iPads, you see. So it is black because I have not done a hot restart on here, but this is how it looks on your tablet. So if you want to see how it looks on your phone, just choose iPhone and run it again. So it is still compiling. It is loaded. It is now doing it for your iPhone Pro. So yeah, choose your web browser as well and run it. Maybe it looks like it hasn't started. Yeah. So it is compiling on your Chrome, and it is compiling for your iPhone done. Yep, it is loading it. The build is done. And this is how. Let's do a hot restart on Android as well. So all good. So this is your iPhone, this is your browser, this is your Android, and that's your tablet. Alright, so you see this autumn flow because the size is smaller and our page is bigger. So to avoid that, if you want to constrain your app within a different size, we need to then do some more formatting, like how to put this thing, and whenever the size becomes small or bigger, it should either shrink or it should pop up a scroll bar. So that's additional widgets which we need to add, but just for the time being I'm going to increase the size, and this is how it looks. So single piece of code, that's the beauty of Flutter, and it's look absolutely same on your Android, your iPad, your web, and your iPhone. So yeah, that's it from me. So in our next session, let's use some more widgets. Let's try and play with how we are going to download some images, some checkboxes, and some other widgets which are commonly used in the app. Yep. So that's it. It's Chetan Mahajan this side. For any queries, feel free to write it in your comment box, and like it, share it, and pass it on to your friends who just want to learn Flutter. Thank you very much. Peace.